feeling it like.
Hey guys, welcome back to my channel, and if this is your first time tuning in, my name is Jeannie C, and today we're going to do a first impressions video. The first product that I'm going to review is the NYX Cosmetics Can't Stop Won't Stop Foundation. As you can see, I've used this a couple of times, so I kind of know what to expect. I was not feeling the primer because it left white residue on my face. And the second product that I'm going to review today, an eyeshadow palette by Beaute. This is one of 4 eyeshadow palettes from their Paradise collection, and this one is called Classical Paradise. So those are just the 2 items that we're going to review. If you're interested in these products, then keep on tuning in. So as you can see, I already primed my face, I already did my eyebrows. So we are going to start off with the eyeshadow palette first. I typically like to do that because I do not like to get fallout on my foundation. It actually ruins my makeup, so that is why I do the eyeshadow first before my foundation. So as you can see, I already did some swatches with this eyeshadow palette. I already tried out some of the shades, so that's why it looks a little ashy and you see the fallout. So this eyeshadow palette does have a lot of fallout. So I want to try something a bit of a fall color. I know it's still summer, but since it's about to be fall, I want to try some different shades that I normally wouldn't try. I'm going to use this yellow color Maze as my transition shade. And I'm just going to tap in the eyeshadow in my crease area. And it seems to be a very subtle yellow, not extremely bright. Although it looks extremely bright in the pan, but again, it depends on your skin tone as well. And I don't use an eyeshadow primer, I actually use concealer to prime my eyes because I feel like the eyeshadow lasts a lot longer when I use concealer. And there's a lot of fallout, as you can see. I'm looking at the viewfinder and you can actually see the powder. The pan right here, all that fallout right there, it's a lot. You definitely have to tap off the excess before applying it to your eye. And for this application, I'm using the Morphe E17 brush, so that's what it looks like. I'm a huge fan of Morphe eyeshadow brushes. Now it may look a little messy, but I promise you, it's gonna be cleaned up. I just applied my eyeshadow extremely messy and I just cleaned it up. You don't have to do it like this, but guess what? You could do it your way. So for the next shade, it's a lot of fallout. For the next shade, I'm gonna go in with this orange color, and it's called Vegetation. And I'm gonna go in my crease with that orange color and do the same tapping motion. It's a lot of fallout. This is exactly why I choose not to do my eyeshadow last, because I will ruin the heck out of my foundation. Now I'm gonna go in with the same brush that I used for the yellow shade, and I'm going to blend out the edges. So now I'm gonna use another brush, and I'm gonna use the Morphe E27 brush, that's that one. And I'm gonna go in with this shade Rye right here. And I'm gonna use that to clean up the edges. It like fades out the edges so it blends better versus it looking extremely sharp. Then I'm gonna use another brush to blend the orange and yellow in my crease. So now I'm gonna try a shade that I typically would not try, and it's actually this green one. It's called Golden Apple. Color's very pretty. It reminds me of like a light army green. And I'm just gonna tap that onto my lid. Honestly, I feel like this eyeshadow palette is definitely for someone that's more advanced. I'm still a beginner and I'm still learning. But if you're like at the very early stages of eyeshadow, I would not suggest using this because this takes a lot of work. Not that my eyeshadow application is the best, but it's definitely a lot of work. So the green isn't as pigmented as I would like it to be. I would like it to be a tad bit darker because I feel like it looks like, I don't know, kind of muddy. And you guys could probably see something completely different in the video than I see in person, but to me, it just looks very muddy and I don't like it. I want it like a richer green. I'm gonna do a video of the entire Paradise collection with like swatches and going through each one. And I'm gonna do separate videos with different looks because it's four different eyeshadow palettes, and if I do it in one take, the video is just gonna be way too long. Yeah, in my opinion, I feel like it's kind of not as green as I would like it. I would say this isn't very fall. This isn't what I was going for. It's more or less summery, spring. The green is so light. Okay, so that's all over my lid. I'm gonna go back in with some orange. I'm just gonna blend it versus patting it in. And then I'm gonna go in again with the yellow shade at the top. Honestly, this palette reminds me of Anastasia Beverly Hills Subculture palette, because look at that dent in the palette, in the pan. It's just ridiculous. So I think this is all I'm going to do for the eyeshadow. Just blend it out just a little bit more. So I feel like you can see more of the orange. The yellow just kind of blended in, which makes me sad because I really want the yellow to show, but I'm going to put some gel liner in black on my lid, and I'm gonna go in with this Inglot AMC. I don't know if you can see it very good, but it's called AMC Gel Eyeliner. So I'm gonna go on with that. And I'm gonna use this Use Spicy 12 brush to apply the liner. And God help me, because I'm not very good. But this is just so I could put on lashes and it'll hide the band. So I'm gonna just put like a little line, and that's all. Next level. is filthy. Just a little line. I'm not doing anything crazy. I'm not doing a wing because it's just not me. So this is simply just to cover the band on the lashes that I'm going to use. One thing I can say with the Inglot gel eyeliner that is extremely black, so if you have a thick eyelash band, it'll definitely cover it. So I'm going to use these House of Lashes eyelashes. They come like this. I received it in a BoxyCharm box. I already took them out and tried to apply them because I literally suck at applying lashes. But I was practicing before making this video. So hopefully it works out this time. And what I'm going to use is the Duo. This is a dark tone eyelash glue. And I just put it on my hand, pretty much like that. And this is easiest for me. You don't have to do it this way. Then I get tweezers. And I just dip it like this. Just a band. Alright, so So we're already done with the lashes, so I'm gonna go ahead and go in with the NYX Cosmetics Can't Stop Won't Stop foundation, and I got the color Warm Honey. So I'm going to use my Sedona Lace Flat Top Kabuki brush to apply the foundation. As I said earlier in the video, I wore it a couple of times and I noticed that I get more coverage with the brush than with my complexion sponge. So I have a lot of hyperpigmentation on my neck, so I like to get the most coverage there. And it does apply a little light, but it'll darken up. It definitely oxidizes. Now it claims that it's full coverage. I feel like it's medium coverage, and even certain spots, depending on how dark your scars are, it can possibly cover it up, but for the most part, especially on my neck, I feel like a lot of it is exposed. So it's okay if the application is a little bit lighter. It's gonna darken up, and I don't mind it being lighter because I bronze. So if it is too light, I can always darken it up for it to blend in. I'm not gonna lie, it was extremely difficult trying to find my shade. I normally shade match with Alyssa Ashley, but honestly, the picture that they provided online was a joke because I think she had like a tan. And I have a tan right now too, so I'm a smidge darker, but they were in order by undertone, which I thought was very strange. I would have preferred it to be in order by shade, but they did it by undertone. So I feel like it messed me up a little bit. Because it's not like if you get Warm Honey, you can't go to the next shade because it's not gonna be your shade. It's gonna be undertone, which is kind of crappy, but I'm just glad they have a lot of options. And it does say that it has a matte finish as well, and it's a 24-hour wear. This brush application doesn't get under my eye. So I'm probably gonna end up going in with my, in between my eyebrows and under my eye for better coverage. I'm gonna use my complexion sponge for my forehead. My eyebrows, so I can just go back in. In my opinion, it doesn't get the See, it blends in person, it looks blended, but on my viewfinder, it looks like it's not. It's so weird. And as you can see, you can still see the hyperpigmentation on my neck, so I'm gonna go in again with the brush. Move my hair out of the way. As you can see, it's darkened up a little bit. So now that I'm done with the foundation, it does dry down to like a demi-matte, like a powdery finish. I don't even know if I really need powder, but I'm gonna just go ahead and use the powder anyway to be on the safe side, so it looks well blended. And I mostly do this for my under eye. Blending it out. I'm just gonna set my face with my Laura Mercier translucent powder. And then I go in with another Laura Mercier translucent medium deep powder. And I just press that into my skin to bring color back into my face. It's a lot of powder. And I just set my foundation. So now for the bronzer, I'm gonna go in with the Estee Lauder Bronze Goddess, and this is in 04 Deep. And I'm going to use my Morphe E59 brush. You definitely have to tap off the excess because this is extremely pigmented. And it has a little fallout, not a lot. Nothing like the eyeshadow palette I use. But and then definitely gotta snatch this double chin to make it disappear. Well, somewhat. Well, healthy eating and exercising makes it disappear. I wouldn't necessarily say bronzer does, but it does take the spotlight off of it. Alright, and then I just go around the forehead region. You don't have to necessarily do it this way. And you can use pretty much any product you want. It's all about what works for your skin. We're going to chisel the nose. I'm going to use this Morphe MB13 brush to chisel my lovely nose. But you definitely don't want to make it too obvious, so if you go in a little dark, you can always buff it out. Just don't use the same brush because it already has color on it. I use this brush. It's by Beauty Professional and it's the contour buffer. This is a little bit out, just a smidge. Then I'm gonna go in with this big old brush by Morphe, the E41. Absolutely love this, and I just use this to pretty much buff out the harshness. And now I'm gonna go in with this Note Cosmetics blush, and it's in the color Desert Rose. Such a pretty, like, peachy, bronzy shade. Absolutely love it. And I'm going to use my Morphe E4 brush. Absolutely love this brush. Tap that, tap off the excess. And I'm just gonna use a Supersizer Fibers Mascara by CoverGirl. Unleash and Curl Mascara. That's this one right here. Absolutely love this mascara. It's become one of my holy grails. I've been using it a lot lately, so I'm gonna touch up the top lashes just a little bit. And then go in. Oh no, bitch! No, you know. So now for the lips, I'm gonna go in with the Kylie Cosmetics True Brown K. And I'm just gonna line my lips with this. Then I'm gonna go in with the e.l.f. Cosmetics and Alyssa Ashley collaboration. It's a lip gloss and the color is Nude Rose. Very pretty color. So I'm just gonna go over that liner. I wanted to use my MAC Cosmetic Cork liner, but I can't find it. So this is gonna have to be. Okay. And to complete the look, I'm gonna go in with my Urban Decay All Nighter setting spray. Shake it up. Spritz, 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 spritz. Whew. And let that dry. So this is my final look, and now let's go into my final thoughts. It's eyeshadow palette, Classical Paradise. Although the colors in this palette are extremely beautiful, there is way too much fallout, and this is the eyeshadow palette after it's used. Now, it wasn't this bad the first time I used it because I literally got through maybe the first color and then I was like, I can't do this. It's too much fallout. It was frustrating me. So after the second video, this is what's left. And I just feel like that's too much. This does remind me of the Anastasia Beverly Hills Subculture palette where there was a lot of fallout and then there was indents in the pan, which really bugs me. If you look at the yellow and the green one, there's dents in it. And to me, that's ridiculous. So Maize and Golden Apple, I didn't really too much touch into the other ones. I did touch Earth and vegetation, but I feel like I didn't go into those as much as I did the other two because I feel like the green color golden apple, that one wasn't as pigmented as it is in the pan, and I wanted to get that same color, so that kind of frustrated me. And I got the same thing with the yellow. I thought the yellow was going to be a bit deeper, and it actually wasn't. In the pan it looks very bright, and I feel like on the eye it kind of comes out as if it's like a pastel yellow, so I didn't too much like that. I do, however, like that there's a mirror and that the names of each eyeshadow are underneath each pan. That's very helpful, especially when you're doing a YouTube video. I feel like the packaging is very cute. The color is very cute. It goes with the theme of the eyeshadows. But I actually got all four for $100. I used Beaute coupon code, so I think it's typically like $115. So these palettes are typically about $35 per palette. I feel like for a newer brand, I feel like it is a bit pricey. I think they could have went down about $10 more, $25 a palette. And I feel like for the quality, and because you have to work so hard with blending these, I feel like the price point is a little bit off. Not too bad, but I feel like it could have been about $10 cheaper in my opinion. I feel like there are Morphe palettes that are cheaper, and they're great quality. This is good quality, but it's not great quality. Honestly, I wouldn't purchase these again. I purchased these with my own money. It wasn't sent to me, but honestly, after finding all this out with the palettes, I probably wouldn't purchase it a second time. So I'm gonna just use it until it's out, or probably give it to someone else. Of course, if they want it and like these colors and they could work with these, but I feel like you have to be an experienced makeup artist, or not even just experienced with makeup, with eyeshadows, period, to really use this product, because if you can't blend to save your life, you're gonna have issues. But overall, it's okay. I feel like it's all right. Palette is not my favorite. It's nothing that jumped out and was like, oh my god. Although the ad campaign, when they released this product, I was excited for it because I saw all the colors, but there's 3 other palettes that I need to use. Now for the good old NYX Cosmetics Can't Stop Won't Stop Foundation. A primer was released with this collection, a Can't Stop Won't Stop primer, but the primer is so thick, and I'll put a picture above if I still have it. I did not like the way it left white residue on my face. It's disgusting. Like, it was just too much. It made my face peel. And I'm actually going to show you guys how thick the consistency is. So that's how thick the primer is, and I feel like that's ridiculous for a primer. It reminds me of Becca Cosmetics. Their primer is extremely thick. It's like a matte primer. I bought it when I first started really getting into makeup, and I regret it because it left so much white residue around my face. It even enhanced the dry areas. I have seriously combination skin, so I could be extremely dry around the perimeter of my face, but then my T-zone is extremely oily, and I feel like that's literally the only place I can put it. But I noticed the first time that I used this, it left white residue around my nose, and I was shocked because my nose normally doesn't get dry. It's normally the oiliest part of my face. As far as the foundation, now as far as it being full coverage, it is not full coverage. This is medium to full coverage. It's buildable. I feel like if you don't have serious scarring or hyperpigmentation, you can get a lot of coverage off of this. But if you're like me, who has like a lot of acne scarring, I feel like this is not gonna do the job. Whoever said that this is full coverage and you have hyperpigmentation, you either use something else to apply a really good brush, maybe you have a magic brush that you use or a magic sponge, or you're lying, because this is definitely not full coverage. As far as it being 24-hour wear, I wouldn't know. I don't wear makeup longer than 8 hours. I try not to because my skin is sensitive, but if it does, more power to this foundation and more power to the working girl that wears it for 24 hours, but I'm not one of those ladies. Other than that, it does state that it's matte, and it has a matte finish. It's like a matte powdery finish. Honestly, if I wasn't so oily and scared of what this would look like 2, 3, 4 hours later, I wouldn't use any powder. If I knew that my face can handle foundation without setting it, I would definitely go without powder. You can. So if you have one of those faces that you're probably combination, or you're dry and use a good moisturizer with this, you do not need to powder your face. As far as the color selection, I found it to be extremely hard. They posted a picture. I actually purchased this foundation 2 weeks before it came out. Ulta Beauty had a release for platinum members, and you were able to purchase it a couple of weeks before its release date. It was released August 16th, and I got it about a week and a half, maybe 2 weeks before that. And it was extremely hard because they didn't have, the only picture they had was of the foundation bottle. And I was like, you can't go buy the foundation bottle. That's impossible to get your shade from a foundation bottle. And then they posted pictures of the model. They collabed with Alyssa Ashley with this foundation, and I use her as a shade reference, but she was extremely tan in the photo that they used. So they had a photo, it was like a grid of all these models and then their shades, but what pissed me off was the shade number or name wasn't listed on there. You'll see on their Instagram, they have the shades listed by number, and then they'll have the shades listed by the name. So Warm Honey is 15.59 and it says it on the bottle, but if you go on the website at the time, I don't know what it says now. I know in the NYX Cosmetics app it does have it, but when you went to Ulta's website, it didn't have the number, it just had the name. So when they posted the numbers on the website, I was like, what the hell? The models I feel like didn't match the foundation shades. When you went to their Instagram pages and really looked at their skin, you were like, what the hell? Even the picture that they posted of Alyssa Ashley, which she is a collaborator with this foundation, she was actually a lot darker in the picture than she is in her Instagram photos and even her videos. I follow her on Instagram and I watch her YouTube videos, and she's extremely lighter than what NYX Cosmetics posted on their Instagram page for promotional purposes. So if you are looking for a shade, I would suggest going into the store. I wish I had the opportunity to go into the store, but I kind of could have. I was just trying to get this video out early, and I ended up just, with work and school was just too much. And I didn't do this video until last minute. I think everyone and their mother has a video out now about this foundation, but this is like my honest review because I purchased this with my own money. All of my makeup I purchased with my own money. I'm not on anyone's PR list. Obviously, I don't have a bunch, I don't have like thousands or millions of followers or subscribers, so of course I'm not gonna get any PR. But I purchase everything with my own money. Normally I purchase online. If I go into the store, it's very rare because I am an online shopper. I hate going to the store and driving to the store and have to stand around and look for stuff. I am one of those people, I sit at my MacBook, swipe through pages, scroll through the page, look for my stuff. But if honestly, with the way they have these listed on NYX Cosmetics and Ulta's website, I would definitely go in person because these are in order by your undertone. It's not in order by your actual shade. So I hope that makes sense, but it's kind of frustrating when you're looking for a foundation, especially when you have 45 shades of these. Anytime you have 45 shades of foundation, that's a lot. I love it when brands are inclusive, but at the same time, it can be overwhelming because you have 45 shades, then you have all these different medium to brown shades, and you're like, okay, where do I fall? I have a very odd complexion. There's parts of me that is a lot lighter. My chest, my upper arms are extremely light. For the most part, my chest is always lighter than my face, and my hand normally is darker than my face. Most of the time when I have to look for foundations, I have to mix two, or sometimes I have to go darker and then highlight to get it to match to my shade. So it can be very frustrating, but I think it is great that a lot of brands are starting to become more inclusive. You know, I've seen comments about, oh, NYX is trying to be like Fenty Beauty. That's false because MAC Cosmetics has been very inclusive from day one. CoverGirl was even inclusive from day one. So if anything, I feel like Fenty Beauty just popularized it because it's Rihanna. I'm not a huge fan of Fenty Beauty, although I do like the Pro Filter primer, but I'm not a fan of foundations because it's hard to match my undertone. Like I've had issues with that. At one point I was 370, and then I think like 2 weeks later it was too light, and then I went to 380, then 380 is dark, then I went to 390, and I was like, maybe it's just the undertone. 390 was like freaking red. Then I went to 350, then 350 was way too light, and I was 360 was way too red. It was just frustrating for me with Fenty Beauty. But normally I go through Estee Lauder, I use the bronze, or cinnamon. I'm in between those two, and bronze is normally my winter color. So during the summer times, I have the hardest time trying to find foundation, because certain parts of my body is really tan, and then certain parts of my body is extremely like pale. So I'm not going to do a wear test on this, because I just don't have time for that. I just really don't, and I just feel like it's pointless, because everyone and their mother has, you know, these reviews up. So I'm not going to do a wear test. Other than that, I feel like it applies beautifully. It looks airbrushed. I like that. Only thing is, around my nose area started to get a little oily, so the foundation started to separate, which I normally have an issue with that. I have to clean it off, go back in and reapply, and I did that off camera. As far as it mixing in with my concealer, I still see, I don't know if you can see it, but here it's some cracking under here, and then cracking under here too. I don't really have smile lines, so I'm not worried about that, but I feel like overall it looks pretty. It looks airbrushed, and it covers the hell out of my pores, but then again, that could be my concealer. So there's other factors into this. So I would say without it, it really didn't cover my pores, but with this damn NARS concealer, it like erases my pores, and I love it. And then with the Laura Mercier setting powder, I don't have to worry about my pores showing at all. Other than that, it looks good. I like it for what it is, but I still have my Holy Grail foundation, and until I find a foundation that matches that, then I'll give it like 5 stars. This gets like 3.5 stars because of not being able to find the undertone easily, and it not being full coverage. I hate when brands make claims that it's full coverage and it's not. But other than that, it was easy to apply, it was easy to blend. I didn't really have any issues, but other than that, I feel like it looks good for the most part. And I absolutely love this gloss. Like, I wore it every day last week. I wore this, and it didn't budge. Only time it budged is when I was eating like wings and fries. But other than that, I love the gloss, and it tastes amazing. It smells amazing. So other than that, that's my video. Go ahead, like, subscribe, and also comment if you have any ideas on what you think would work if I was to use this as a full coverage. What have you done to make it full coverage? And just let me know what I could have done better in the video. Don't be rude, but you can tell me some tips on what I could have done better in the video to make the experience better for you guys and make the experience better for myself. And also follow me on Instagram and Twitter and Facebook, and I'll link all the products and the prices below, and I'll see you in my next video. Bye. Raindrop, drop top, top smoking, no cooking the hot. You fucking on your bitch, yeah, that. Cooking up over in the park.